District leaders stress that they want to hear from the community and no plans have been finalized. The school corporation has said that a closure is an option. In January of 2021, at a regular school board meeting, the superintendent talked about ideas to address enrollment in space, including closing a high school or turning a high school into a career and technical school. Leaders say, though, they are starting from scratch now. South Bend Councilman Henry Davis Jr. is very concerned about what could be next for the city's high schools.
So we just can't just close a school.
Davis is not alone in his worry.
Changes to keep happening in this community.
When the school district announced in April it would be changing leadership at Washington High School, people gathered with concerns. Many were worried about what it could mean for the future of the West Side High School. The school district issued a statement saying it had no plans to close Washington.
The deal was pass a referendum. We keep services open, keep services going. And then the federal government said, hey, COVID relief funds, here's some more money. And we're back at square one again, talking about closing schools.
And that's true. The school district is looking into what it calls right-sizing.
So we need to reimagine how we reach and teach our students, but also shrink our portfolio because we have buildings for 26,000 students, and we now have 15,000 students.
Assistant Superintendent Karima Fowler says since the $220 million referendum passed in 2020, the school district has collected data, formed a task force, received more than 1,300 survey responses, and is holding public meetings. The purpose? To create a 10-year master plan and figure out how to spend the remaining funds in the capital referendum.
In the past, buildings have kind of drove what we do. And that's not how it should be. Programming should drive what you do in buildings.
This week, the school district and the architecture firm handling its master planning will hold a public meeting to gather input.
It's really tough to get, small classrooms, but also robust programs and keep costs down. That's a balancing act. So really putting that information out there, what can the community tolerate?
But some say what the community can't tolerate is another building closure.
It will be a shame to suffer the same type of blow again. History does repeat itself, but we shouldn't repeat that type of history.
Several South Bend school buildings have been shuttered or repurposed over the past decades. The current administration has closed 2 schools in a little over a year and is currently working to sell its downtown administration office.
2002, they closed LaSalle High School, which is the high school I graduated from in 1997. And we saw the play out from that.
But Fowler says right now nothing has been decided. The 10-year master plan won't be ready until November.
To me, that sounds like the end result is going to likely be more school buildings are either closed or repurposed, right?
Absolutely.
That should come as no surprise to
Correct.
people.
We all know that something needs to happen and we're chipping away at it, right? And we want to do what's best for our community and for our students with the least disruption. That's what we're looking at.
But she says with enrollment shrinking and less money for large public school corporations, this is an issue that can't be ignored.
We can't continue to live in that. We can keep the status quo, but if we keep the status quo and we keep everything the way it's been and we don't take any action to address any of this, where does that leave our students? Where does that leave our community?
All right, we're working together.
I've put enrollment numbers at the district's 4 high schools on this story on our website. The utilization rate at Clay, Riley, and Washington is only around 50% of capacity. The district's facilities master plan public input meeting is this Thursday, May 5th at 5 o'clock at the Charles Black Community Center. In the studio, Kristen Bean, WSBT 22 News.